this is a big announcement for us right here on CNN News 18. A historic feat for our channel, a historic week for our channel, as 50 weeks of news dominance with CNN News 18. Our channel has, as you can see, maintained the lead for 50 weeks at number one. My colleague Zakka Jacob live with us in the newsroom to tell us more about what this means. Zakka, over to you.
Thank you very much, for starters, to all our viewers, because this is an incredible achievement in the history of Indian news television. No channel has had this kind of a run for 50 weeks. In cricketing terms, it's a half century. It's almost a year. It's 2 weeks short of a year since CNN News 18, your channel, became number one. We want to thank all our viewers because I don't think we could have achieved this without your support, your love, and your commitment to the kind of journalism, the kind of news stories that we put out there. I think this is an incredible testament to the fact that there is a large audience out there that wants sane, sober, middle-of-the-road news without any shouting, without any chest thumping, without any hyperventilation. And I think the fact that CNN News 18 has been number one now for the last 50 weeks is actually a salute, is actually a testament to all of those viewers who are not wanting to move to the partisan extremes, as it were. They are happy to get good old-fashioned news, sane, sober, middle of the road, without any political biases, as it were, not swinging left, not swinging right, just knowing what happened in the country and in the world around them today and why it's important and why they should be paying attention. I think it is an affirmation, like I said, for that kind of old school journalism, if you will. Even though I don't think, the team that is bringing this together is a very, very young team. I keep saying this in our newsroom. The average age in the newsroom is probably 25 or 26. So it's a young team, and 50 weeks, the last 1 year. I think it's the fruit of the effort that we have put in, this young team has put in over the last 3 years or so. For me, this journey really began 3 years ago. Incidentally, around the same time when COVID happened, the entire country went into lockdown, and we had, this young team. We had to work from 4 different locations. There was one office, one team in one part of office. There was another team in the other part of office that would come at a different time. There were multiple teams that were working from home, and it was hell. It really was hell. But I think the way different people in this young team stepped up when the challenge presented itself, or when the opportunity presented itself, I think that was incredible. And so the effort really started, in my view, from 2020 onwards, when we went through the sort of cataclysmic events of the COVID-19 surge and the lockdown and so on. What we have seen over the last 1 year, last 50 weeks, is the fruit of all of that hard work, is the fruit of all of that labor. So I think this is an ode to the young team here at CNN News 18 as well. But like I said, it's incredible. It hasn't happened in the history of news television that a channel has dominated the ratings in this fashion for 50 weeks. And I'm also happy to report to our viewers, it's not just on one platform, it's not just on linear television where our dominance has been well established now for the better part of the last 1 year. We're also now the number one English news channel on YouTube, and it's been the case for the last 8 months. In fact, the month of March, we would close out with 90 million views, I think, which is incredible. It's again unheard of in Indian news television that an English channel from India gets 90 million views. We've had 100 million views plus every month since September of last year. We're again number one on Facebook. I think last month we closed out at 135 million views on Facebook. So again, I come back to that point. So we're number one across platforms, whether it is television, whether it is YouTube, whether it is Facebook. And I think, this is an incredible achievement. And like I said, an ode to the young team here that is toiling away day in and day out. It couldn't have been possible without them. And once again, I want to really, really thank all our viewers. We had a big event last week, Rising India, and even just anecdotally, people who came up to me or came up to some of our senior editors and faces, and they were speaking. And the one sort of constant thing that you always heard was, I like watching your channel because you guys don't shout. So I think that's become a bit of an identity, if you will. And again, once again, thank you, viewers. We couldn't have done this without you. I think it's an incredible achievement. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of everyone here at Team CNN News 18. We hope your love and support and affection continues for the next 50, maybe the next 100 weeks. As they say in cricketing terms, this is just a half century. Abhi century to baki hai.
Zakka, thank you for that. Tell our audiences a little bit more about what the last 50 weeks have looked like. You were pointing out it's a little bit short of a year. In the news world, what have been the key events, and out in our newsroom, how has it played out?
Oh, it's been incredible. I mean, we've had elections. We've had multiple elections, state elections. You know, we had the big ones, UP and Uttarakhand, Goa, etc., going in the first part of 2022. Then we had, huge events politically, both here in India as well as abroad. We had the war. I mean, can you imagine, they say a week is a long time, but this is 50 weeks. It's been the last year. We've had a war between Russia and Ukraine. That, of course, was a defining news event. And, of course, the global geopolitics sort of changing as a result of that. We've also had, incredible political events over the last year, whether it was in Parliament, whether it was outside. We also celebrated 75 years of India being an independent country. Again, that was an incredible landmark or milestone over the last 1 year. But what I'm really excited about is, like I said, what we've seen in the last 1 year is really the fruits of the labor of this young team that has been hard at work for the last 3 years plus. But I'm also really excited about the future, because we are building here at Team CNN News 18 India's first integrated, converged newsroom. So our reporters, our desk editors, our producers, they're all going to be converged in one team. Not necessarily, for TV or for digital, but we're going to be combining our strengths, combining our resources, and building India's first integrated and converged newsroom. Something that I'm very, very excited about, because, again, it will completely change the whole paradigm of not just how news is consumed, but also the viewer experience. So I think really, thank you once again to our viewers for the incredible achievement that Team CNN News 18, you have feted us with over the last 1 year. But I'm equally excited about the journey ahead for the next year and years ahead, because I think, if we can pull this off by creating India's first integrated convergence newsroom, I think we would have completely changed the game for the entire industry. And I think that is something that I'm looking forward to as well.
Zakka, over the last few years, we've also seen a lot of skepticism towards the rating system itself. So I wanted to ask you to break down for our audiences what that number lead actually means. We're showing our audiences 34.8, I believe, on the ticker below. Can you tell us more about what those numbers mean?
Oh, it's been incredible. I mean, over the last, like I said, 50 weeks, the dominance of CNN News 18 on any metric that you take of the BARC ratings has been so clear that I think whether it is the advertisers, whether it is the industry, whether it is just viewers who are watching, I think it's very, very clear to everyone that middle of the road, sober, sane, not hyperventilating news, not partisan news, there is a huge market for it. And I think that is the greatest lesson that we've all learned over the last 1 year, that you don't have to shout from the rooftops, you don't have to beat your chest, you don't have to, wag your finger, as it were, and most of all, you don't have to, put your guests in little boxes and hector them. Really, I think that is the biggest learning for all of us, that there is a huge audience out there which is validating, which is consuming this, and which is happy to partake in this kind of sober, middle-of-the-road news delivery and style and editorial balance, if you will. So I think that has been a great learning experience for all of us. And like I said, going forward, what we are attempting to build, this converged newsroom, because news is today breaking anywhere. It's breaking on your phone. It's not necessarily breaking on television. So if we can, build an ecosystem of reporters, producers, video editors, camera persons who are platform agnostic, I think that is going to be our next big journey over the next year and the next few years. But like I said, I'm happy to report that it's not